were tapped into the true power source, there would be. Through the power of invocation, calling upon His name, calling into manifestation, into reality, into formation, the manifestation of His power in great authority and wonder. Okay, Eliah says, go get your hundreds of guys, bring them to Mount Carmel, and I'll meet you there. So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel, and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elias came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If Yahuwah be Elohim, follow Him. But if Baal, then follow him. Here's a challenge, everybody. This is the challenge of Eliah. He says, let's find out who is real and who isn't. Let's find out if the guy who Barden and Crowley and all these guys serve, the one whom they call upon, let's see if he can show up, if he can deliver. Because Eliah's about to deliver big time. He's going to be delivering big time, everybody. Verse 22 reads, then said Eliah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of Yahuwah, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut in pieces a sacrifice, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. So Eliah and the prophets are required again, make a sacrifice. Hoping to manifest signs and wonders through visitation. How? Through invocation. Watch this, everybody. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal, from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. All these guys, hundreds of guys, supposedly men of great power, great magical ability, they're all in cahoots working together. Not a word. They start jumping all around, dancing all around. It came to pass at noon that Eliah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a god, is he not? Either he is talking or he is pursuing, or he is on a journey, or peradventure he is sleeping and must be awakened. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after the manner with knives and lances, till their blood gushed out over upon them. Now they went so far as mutilating and cutting themselves and bleeding themselves in a blood ritual sacrifice for Baal. So first they slaughtered the animal, now they're cutting themselves and bleeding themselves. See, they're giving Baal blood sacrifice. Because that's the ultimate sacrifice, right guys? Blood sacrifice? Is it? Is that the ultimate sacrifice? Okay, let's see if it worked. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. Well, better luck next time, guys. Okay? And Eliah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of Yahuwah that was broken down. And Eliah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Yaakov, of whom the word of Yahuwah had come, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahuwah. Invocation, everybody. And he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. He said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time. So Eliah got everything ready, got the altar, the wood, the animal ready. See, because the priest of Baal couldn't get a spark, nothing. Eliah says, okay, now that you got it ready, pour water on it. Do it again. Do it a third time. 3 being the number of witness. That stuff was drenched, everybody. So, priest of Baal, calling upon Baal, no spark, nothing. Eliah drenches the stuff with water. Try starting wet wood, everybody. See, you can't. But Eliah did. See, Eliah has a mighty one behind him, who has all authority and power in heaven and earth. He's the master of creation. And the water ran around the altar and filled the trench with water. Also. A lot of water, everybody. Trench around the altar now. It came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and of Yaakov, Israel. Let it be known this day that you are Elohim in Israel, and that I am thy servant. Remember, confirming the word of his servant, Eliah says, I am thy servant, and I have done all these things as that at thy word. Hear me, O Yahuwah, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahuwah Elohim, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Hear, people, today. Know and understand that Yahuwah Elohim is Elohim, and He's turning your heart back to Him. He's making it known. He's going to manifest. He's manifesting His name and His power and His word to you today. Hear. Then the fire of Yahuwah fell, consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. Wow. Everybody, Scripture says our Elohim is a consuming fire. And so the fire of Elohim just consumed it all. Even the very water. Just gone. So Baal, nothing. Elohim, everything. Totally. Total consuming of fire. Even the water. That's mighty power. Consuming the water. What mighty fire did Elijah bring down in the name of Elohim, Yahuwah? Invocation. And when the people saw it, they fell on their faces. And they said, Yahuwah, He is Elohim. Yahuwah, He is the Elohim. Everybody, that's power. Fire down from heaven. When is the last time you seen a magician, an astrologer, a sorcerer, a black magician, a Satan worshiper, a high priest, a Wiccan, call fire out of the heavens in front of an entire crowd, an entire nation, and do it in a showdown against the workers of deceit, the ones who claim but could not deliver? Eliah showed up, and the people saw it, and they fell on their faces, everybody. They saw, and they knew, and they understood. Elohim is real. He is Elohim. See, in the movie The Ten Commandments, Pharaoh goes back and makes that confession. He says, talking about Moses, he says, his God is God. Okay? His Elohim is Elohim. That didn't happen, everybody. Moses wrote that Pharaoh drowned in the sea. See, that's Hollywood. Okay? But the people, that day, this is real, everybody. This is a historical event that happened in history of Israel. Written in a book, everybody, that's been preserved. It's the most published book in the world. See, it's been concealed from you, but today we search it out. We find mighty power through invocation, prayer, in the name of Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, Yahuwah, and His Son Yahshua. See, everybody, that's where it all comes down from. He called fire out of heaven. Let me see any of these guys do this. You don't even read accounts of anything but what? Speculations? Traditions? Come on, folks. This word has been preserved for generations, and it's true. And it's telling us. And let me tell you something, folks. I'm speaking as an eyewitness of the mighty power of Elohim. See, I'm telling you in authority and power because I have manifested and seen the power of Elohim at work, everybody. When we get to part 2, I'll probably tell you about it. But I'm out here reading you theory. I'm speaking from the point of view of knowing and understanding and being a true witness to you of the power of Elohim, mighty power. I've seen miracles happen, everybody. Mighty miracles, and I've seen the power of His name, the power of invocation, and I know the power of ritual, and I've seen miracles happen, and I've had visitations through the power of invocation. For real, everybody. I'm not making this up. This is real. This is real, genuine truth that I speak to you this afternoon. That's why I'm standing in front of the camera saying this to you. Let's go to the book of Daniel, everybody. Talk about the chief of the diviners. The prophet Daniel. Daniel could interpret dreams. Okay? Let's go to Daniel chapter 2. Again, everybody, the Bible's full of very, very interesting stories. We're going to go, as it were, actually to perhaps what you consider another showdown. Okay? Want to talk about power of divining? Let's talk about dream interpretation and having dreams. Manifesting dreams and being able to understand them. Okay? How do you do that? Where does it come from? We're going to find out. Let's go to Daniel chapter 2, everybody. Nebuchadnezzar. King Nebuchadnezzar, the great king of Babylon, captured Jerusalem, took captive many people. He took captive many, many people. And one of the people that he took captive was a man named Daniel and his friends. And they were taken as prisoners. Yes, they were. They were taken as prisoners by the king of Babylon. In the process of time, King Nebuchadnezzar, in Daniel chapter 2, everybody, verses 1 through 12. Daniel 2, 1 through 12, it reads, starting in verse 1. Daniel 2, starting in verse 1, it reads, in the end of the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep broke from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans, for to show the king his dream. So they came and stood before the king. And the king said to them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spoke the Chaldeans to the king in Syriac, O king, live forever. Tell the servants the dream, and we will show you the interpretation. That's real easy, isn't it? Yeah, tell us the dream, and we'll tell you what it means. Nebuchadnezzar is saying, no, if you guys are real, if you guys are true and genuine, if you're the real deal, you're the real article, you tell me the dream, and then the interpretation. See, Nebuchadnezzar was not stupid. He's pretty slick. Okay? The king answered, said to the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. If you will not make known unto me the dream with the interpretation thereof, you shall be cut in pieces, and your house shall be made a dunghill. Okay. See, these guys were hired and served in the king's court. They made their living doing this stuff. So when the time came for them to earn their money, to do the job, Nebuchadnezzar says, okay guys, do your job. And he says, well, help us out, king. He says, listen, if you don't do your job, I'm going to kill you and overturn your houses. See, because they were paid. They were living off the king, man. And Yahweh Elohim sent this dream to Nebuchadnezzar. See, the magicians couldn't interpret it. They couldn't even tell what it was. Okay? Now listen. These guys who were being threatened, there was not just their jobs on their life is on the line, okay? They say, he says, King Nebuchadnezzar says to them, he says, if you will show the dream, the interpretation thereof, you shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. And they said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation of it. Try it again. The king answered and said, I know of a certainty that you would gain the time, because you see the thing is gone from me. But if you will not make known to me the dream, then it but one decree for you. For you have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed thereof. Tell me the dream, and I shall know that you can tell me the interpretation thereof. He says, hey, listen guys, the game's up. This is it. Okay? The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king matter. Therefore there is no king sovereign or ruler that asks such a thing as any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king requireth, and there is none other that can show up before the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh.